Why am I talking about video games? Sovereign CEO is about building your own location-dependent business and moving to a less bad country, or at least setting up an international backup plan. Why the hell am I talking about video games? Because I know my audience, and there is a strong percentage of you who are not taking action on my content or other people's content because you're too fucking busy playing fucking video games too much. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to stop doing that, or at least cut way back. I am Caleb Jones, and this is Sovereign CEO, and I'm here to help you make a better life. And that's not going to happen if you're spending 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day playing video games. Now, you're probably thinking, this is some old bastard who doesn't understand video games, and blah, 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 blue, and whatever boomer. Okay, first of all, I'm not a boomer, I'm Gen X. Second of all, I love video games. I've been playing video games more or less consistently throughout my entire life. I've been playing video games more than most of you watching this video have been alive. I've been playing video games since the early 1980s, just a few years after they were invented in the mid 70s. I was playing with my Atari 2600 when I was a little kid, playing Space Invaders and Asteroids and Pac-Man. I was playing that shit in the early 80s and I loved it. This evolved when I got a little older. As a teenager in high school in the late 1980s, I spent hours and hours and hours playing games like Ultima 5 and many other cool games on my Commodore 64. First it was a TI-99 4A, then it was a Commodore 64. I'm dating myself. Then it was an Amiga, and then it was the IBM PC. So I've been playing video games for a long goddamn time, and that didn't stop in the 90s and so on. Matter of fact, by the time I was moved out in my early 20s, making some money, I had 7 computers in my condo. I had a computer room with 7 computers in there, and the primary reason I wanted those computers was because they played video games. I am a nerd, and I was a hardcore nerd back then. I was certainly a video game nerd. Matter of fact, if you go to my blog at alphamale20.com, you can do a search on that and you will see the top 10 video games I have ever played in my entire life. You can read that article. So if you think I'm some old dumbass who doesn't know anything about video games and can't relate to you, boy, are you fucking wrong. But here's my point. Despite the fact I've been playing video games throughout my life, I still make a very strong, high income. I have a very healthy net worth. I am very financially successful. How do you explain that? Because I'm able to manage my desire to play video games in terms of my goals and my mission. I don't let video games take over my life. When I was a little kid, that was okay. And when I was a teenager, that was okay. But once you turn 18, I'm sorry, little man, you have to grow up and you have goals to accomplish, you have money to make, you have infrastructure to build, or else you're fucked and you're going to be on welfare like most other people in the Western world over the next few years. So that's the first concept I want to convey to you here, is that I don't think video games are inherently bad. Just like I don't think porn is bad, or watching Netflix is bad, or smoking weed with your buddies is bad. I didn't say these things are bad, but these things have a strong tendency to suck you in and waste a lot of your time if you're not proactive and strategic. So I'm about to give you 5 techniques that you could use to become proactive and strategic so that you can accomplish your goals while playing some video games if you want. Item number 1, I've talked about this before, use a timer. Every phone has a timer app, or at least you can download one. I use one called Stopwatch and Timer Plus for my Android phones, but there's a bazillion of them. Download a timer app on your phone, and if you want to play a video game, set a timer for a set amount of time. Let's say an hour. 1 hour, and then you stop. That's usually what I do. Usually when I play video games, and I haven't lately, but usually when I play a computer game, no matter how much I like it, last computer game I played was Pillars of Eternity 2, it was awesome. I would get comfortable, boot up my computer, set that timer for 1 hour, set it aside, and I could completely focus on that game, immerse myself in that game, enjoy the game, take a nice break from the work for the day. But when that timer went off, beep, 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 I would stop, save the game, and literally shut the computer down and moved on. I didn't go past the timer. Now, worst case scenario, if I was right in the middle of something in the game, I might wait another 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, fine. I was playing the game for 65 minutes or 70 minutes instead of 60. Still very good, especially compared to most guys who play these video games for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours a day. By the way, a sub point to number 1 here is you will notice I shut the computer down, which means I have games on a separate computer. I do not have one laptop or one computer where I do everything. I have a work computer and I have a game or school round computer. I have a computer where I put all my games, my movies, my screw around stuff. I have all that stuff on my screw around computer. That's actually a desktop computer. And my laptop, there are no games. None. That is a 100% work tool, and that is all I use it for is work. So that means when I want to play games, I have a mental shift over to the other computer. I have to physically go to the other computer, turn on, boot it up, load up the game. It's a lot harder for me to just be on my laptop and get bored and start playing a game because there's a game on my laptop. I separate the two. I think that is a very critical thing to do. We live in an era where computers are pretty cheap. You can probably pull that off. Plus, also, you probably don't want your laptop to be your gaming computer, right? Your gaming computer to be something cool. Yes, you get gaming laptops, but those are expensive. You get a gaming desktop for $1,200. A good gaming laptop might be $4,000, right? Right, so there you go. There is an objection I have received when I've given this advice in the past, and that is, but Caleb, I can't set a 1-hour timer. If you, quote, can't stop playing your computer game after an hour or an hour and a half, it doesn't have to be an hour. You can set it for an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours on the outside, maybe half an hour. If you, quote, can't do that, I submit to you that you have a very serious life problem and you need to fix that problem immediately. I have done YouTube videos in the past and articles on my blogs in the past about saying, well, that's just the way I am. I can't do it. That is a bullshit excuse. You can fix that problem and you might need help. You might need to go see a therapist. You might need to go cold turkey, which I'll cover in a little bit. You might need to take extreme action. Not might, you probably do. If I say to you, set a 1-hour timer, then play your game and stop, and your first thought is, oh, I can't do that. I don't have the self-control to do that. I'm a stupid robot. I have no self-control whatsoever. Dude, you're fucked. You're in big trouble. You have much bigger problems in your life than video games. I promise you this. So you've got to get that problem fixed. And again, that is a problem you need to fix, not something you make excuses for. Same thing about when guys want to get a job. Hey, Caleb, what do you think about me getting this job? I have this job. I want to get a different job. Having a job is like having cancer. You don't say, hey, what if I get a better form of cancer? You need to treat having a job as if you had cancer, which means you need to get rid of the cancer. If you can't stop playing your video games, you have cancer. And you need to solve that problem immediately. Before I go on to the other items, there's something you should do. You should subscribe to this channel, click the dumb notification bell, put a like on this video, and leave a comment on this video. Doesn't matter what you say. The more algorithm-friendly activity I get on this content, the more this content I will provide for you for free. Item number 2, to prevent video games from taking over your life, is to play one game at a time. I have noticed anecdotally that the men I know who are like me, who play video games but are also very successful, tend to play one game at a time. They play it all the way through. Maybe they replay it a few times if they really like it. And then when they're done with that game, then they start on to the next game. Whereas I've noticed that guys who are video game addicts, guys who play hours and hours and hours and hours a day, are playing 2, 3, 4, 5 games at a time. They buy whatever the new game is and they immediately start playing it, even though they're already playing 1 or 2 or 3 other games. And they're just playing all these goddamn games. Stop. If that's you, stop doing that. Make a new rule in your life. One video game at a time. That's it. Never be playing more than one video game at a time. I promise that will help. Just that change alone will probably help a lot. One game at a time, immerse yourself in that game, and when you're completely done with that game, you can replay it if you want. When you're totally done with it, then move on to the next game. By the way, this is something that I do. I don't buy new video games. I just don't. You know why? They have bugs. Buying a new video game as soon as it comes out is the stupidest thing on earth. I was in the software industry for years. I know this works. They purposely release it with bugs. The longer they wait, the more money they lose. So buying a video game when it first comes out is dumb. I buy most of my games, my daughter knows this because she's a video game nerd too, a year after they come out. And that's fine with me because I'm already playing one game and I probably haven't finished that game. Cool? Item number 3, make playing your game an event. I kind of alluded to this. So what I would do back when I was playing video games, I haven't played lately, but when I play video games, I would make it into an event. I wouldn't just click the icon and start playing it because I was bored on my laptop. Like I said, I had it in a different computer in a different room. And I had a whole area set up for it. I have a big screen TV. I had my gaming computer there. I have my big fancy custom-made lazy boy chair with my keyboard laid out right on my lap with my mouse. I had this whole setup for it. So I made it into like this event, this ritual of like, oh, I can relax now. This is nice. Instead of just playing a game. This works to allay addiction. They talk about this too when you're trying to lose weight. When they teach people losing weight, I know a little something about trying to lose weight. What they teach people is don't just shove food in your mouth whenever you want. That's dumb. Make eating food an event. Sit down. Put the food on the plate. Get it nice on the plate. Get very comfortable. Take a minute to relax. Pour your nice glass of water or whatever you're doing. Look out the window. Relax. Make it an event. Go slow. Same exact thing with playing video games. One of the many reasons I can stop playing a video game, even if I love it after an hour, is because I make it into an event. And so the need to play that game has been satisfied because it's an event for me, not just something I'm doing because I'm bored. By the way, what's a really important event is moving out of your collapsing Western country, or at least setting up an international backup plan. And the way you do that is to go to escapeplancourse.com. That is my course on exactly how to move out of your collapsing Western country, and also helps you which country to choose to move to, because I cover the entire planet Earth in terms of the best countries to move to and not. You should really check that out. It will help you a lot. It's changed a lot of lives. It's pretty cool. Number 4. This is where you get in touch with your pain. I've talked about this in prior YouTube videos. Ask yourself, do you want the game or do you want the result of your business or whatever part of your life you're working on? Let's take your Alpha 2.0 business. Do you want $85,000 a year or more pre-tax in completely location independent income where you don't have to work more than 10, 20, 30 hours a week at the most to sustain that income? Do you want that or do you want to play Fortnite? Which one do you want? And really get in touch with that. Think it through. Do you want to play Fortnite again, or do you want that result? And if 85,000 a year is not your goal, if you want to make more, great, whatever. Insert whatever number you've got, whatever goals you have. Do you want your goals, or do you want to play the game? This is what I've done throughout my life. Even when I was a young guy playing video games hardcore, I'd have to stop myself and say, wait a minute. Do I want to play this video game, or do I want the money? Do I want the life where I can play video games all day long if I wanted to? Which one do I want? And usually, not always, but usually I'd pick the result. I'd pick my goals. And again, you can use the other techniques in this video to still play the game, just not quite as much. You can have both, it's okay. But ask yourself, which is the priority? You know what, guys? I'll be super honest with you. I know a lot of men who are very intelligent and very talented who don't make shit for money, and I know in my heart will probably never make any money because they play video games all day. Guys who are smarter than me, guys who are more talented than me, guys who, if they started their own Alpha 2.0 businesses and went in direct competition with me, would run circles around me because they're better than I am. But they don't do it because they're too busy playing video games all day. Which one do you want more? Ask yourself and be honest with yourself. Number 5, last one here, and this is the hardest one. If it's a real problem or your goals are very big, you might have to take 3 months, 6 months, up to a year, maybe even 2 years, depending on your scenario, depending on your life, depending on who you are, to just not play any games. You can always circle back to them later once you get a foundation where you've removed that habit and you have built new habits in terms of building your infrastructure, building your life, hitting your goals, working on your mission. I made a decision a while ago to hit the big money. I've talked about this before. And because of that decision, I have not sat down and played a video game now for about 1.5 years. I haven't done it. I had to make a hard choice and say, you know what? What do I want more? Do I want the big, big, big money? Do I want the 5 flags lifestyle, which is something that really gets me excited, really turns me on? Or do I want to play Alien Isolation again, which is a cool game, one of the best games ever made. Love that fucking game. I can play that game right now. But I had to say, you know what? I want the money. I want the lifestyle. I want the multiple passports. I want the multiple residencies. I want the gigantic income, the hardcore 7, 8-figure income. I want that. I can figure out video games later. I want that. And so for me, I'm not saying you have to do this, but for me, I had to just go cold turkey. I had to just stop. I will play video games again. Trust me. I'm a video game nerd. I have a computer background. It's not like I will never play video games again. And that's why I want to reiterate to you, if you choose this option, you're taking a break from video games. You're not eliminating them from your life completely. Some of you guys who are either serious computer game addicts or you have really big goals like me, far beyond the $85,000 sovereign CEO minimum. You want to make the big money. You want to make millions of dollars a year. You want to build a big business. You want to just go hardcore and go crazy. Those 2 categories of guys, you may have to take a break from video games. 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, somewhere in that time frame. And you know what? When you go back to playing your video games, you'll have so much money. You'll live such a great life. You won't feel guilty anymore. You don't feel guilty playing those games when you've accomplished your goals and living a great life. It's awesome. I suggest you try it. That's it on playing video games. Think about this. You should watch this video, which shows you exactly emotionally why you're not doing what you know you should be doing. It's one of the most important videos I've done. Watch this video. I will see you in that video. Bye.